Hi there, I'm Todd Tucker. I'm the General Manager for the TBM Council, and it's a pleasure to be here today to talk about this year's virtual TBM Conference 2021. This is our 9th year of having the TBM Conference. The theme of this year's conference is Future-Proof Your Innovation, and we're going to talk about many of the aspects of the conference that tie into that theme. We're also going to talk about an in-person event that we call the Executive Strategy Forum that we're having on October 12th and 13th in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a pleasure today to be with Sunny Gupta, who's the CEO and founder of Apptio and also one of the board members for the TBM Council. Sunny and I are going to talk about the conference and all the things to look forward to. So Sunny, why don't we start out? What are you most excited for with this year's conference?
You know, Todd, as you know, this is one of my favorite events. And this year particularly, one of the massive changes is how the TBM has expanded into the new IT operating model for the CIOs, which is really capturing development, which is around Agile Transformation, and number 2, cloud transformation. These are the two big things happening as a result of COVID. So talking through that, looking at a lot of our amazing customer stories and how they've driven value for their organizations around value creation and innovation, that would be pretty exciting, as well as all the incredible news which we have coming out in terms of product releases, product roadmaps, and customer stories.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, Sunny, you mentioned COVID and just a lot has changed, right, for CIOs and for their roles. And, you know, on the one hand, you have all the investment in digital. On the other hand, they're having to fund, you know, remote workers. And we even have folks like Tom Murphy at UPenn, who's the COVID leader for, you know, he drives their response to COVID at the university. And so there's just a lot of challenges I think CIOs are facing today. What are some of the things, like as you're hearing the stories that we're going to hear at the conference, like what are some of the kind of key, I don't know, changes or themes that you hear from customers you're talking to?
Yeah, Todd, I've had the opportunity to engage with more customers, more CIOs in this challenging time, partly because there's more availability. So really, if you think about everybody was on a digital transformation journey in some way. COVID has accelerated that timeline in a matter of days or weeks.
Yeah.
So not only do you have to manage your financials better, that's like breathing, you know. That's really, if you're not doing that, you don't really have a seat at the table. But more importantly, using this to drive new digital development, reinventing new business models as a result of technology and CIO, and then also transforming your infrastructure so you can go to the cloud, so it's maybe financially better, as well as for speed of delivery and innovation. So, you know, if you look at some of the most amazing customers, Todd, which are going to come, whether it's customers like Chevron, whether it's customers like MetLife, Commonwealth of Australia, and John Deere, these are going to be just incredible transformational stories. And also we're going to have customers of all sizes represented. I had a question for you. You've been hard at work working on the next generation TBM State of the Union report.
Yep.
So any kind of preview on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the things that it really reinforces, Sunny, is how TBM is being used for exactly those things that you described. I mean, seeing how many organizations are shifting to a product model, for example. You know, we'll have Carolyn from John Deere talk about that. So seeing that come through in the data, the results from the survey that we did, it's apparent that, you know, organizations aren't just moving in that direction, but they're using TBM to inform people like product owners and other agile leaders about their cost of operation, their cost of development, and they're making big decisions. I think the overarching theme, though, is that TBM is all about accelerating decisions. You know, it's something that gives them readily available, trusted data so they can accelerate decisions. It's not that much different than you get from public cloud adoption, right? You get speed, you get agility, you get maybe improved economics, but it's all in pursuit of things like digital, which are so, core today.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I mean, I think Todd, we're gonna have some amazing partners representing who are kind of partnering deeply with Apptio. Certainly AWS, Accenture, and there'll be some sneak preview, new partnership announcements we're going to be talking about, and so also the ecosystem around kind of where Apptio and TBM operates in will be kind of highlighted. So I'm very, very excited by those stories as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think to me, the stories are probably the most exciting thing that come out of the conference every year. I mean, we'll have, literally dozens of leaders and Apptio customers presenting on what they're doing. I think that's a unique opportunity to learn from what others are doing, what they're being successful with, challenges that they're facing, right? So I think any of you who are wondering should you register and attend the conference, like, it's a no-brainer. It just there's way too much to learn and take in from this to let it go by. So
and as you know, Todd, like anybody who goes to TBM conference will always tell you, we thought we were alone. Whether you're a CFO, whether you're a CIO, whether you're on digital development, whether you're agile planner, or whether you're kind of really in cloud center of excellence, they're like, wow, there's a whole community of people out there who have exactly the same challenges which I do. And some people are much more advanced in solving those challenges. Some are early. And so it also speaks to the different stages of the maturity. One additional thing which I get very excited by is TBM Awards. I know you are kind of really part of that selection committee, but also work with the independent board of directors. So what can we expect on the awards?
I mean, here's the deal, Sonny. So this is the 9th year of the awards. Every year we have these amazing, again, stories told, but amazing, really evidence of success and value with TBM. And I would say that this year, it is the most competitive group I've ever seen. Like, in other words, the bar just keeps going higher and higher. And so it's just fascinating to see how far people have gone with TBM. Some are, folks we've worked with for years, but a lot are really new that we didn't know 2 years ago that, have embraced TBM or maybe FinOps for cloud or, again, that product shift, and they're doing things around Agile. And so it's a lot of new stories, but a lot of, folks that we've been working with for years. One of the finalists, Freddie Mac, a great example. Like, we've worked with them, you've known them for years. So, we've worked with them going back to like 2011, 2012, and they always had a traditional TBM story, but their story has evolved to embrace that shift to public cloud. So we've got their SVP and CFO for their technology organization, Ravi Ori. He's going to come and speak at the event, at the conference, about that shift. And that's a whole new dynamic to what we've seen to, kind of the more traditional TBM programs in the past. So you'll see a lot of that come through in these awards, a lot of the evolution.
That's awesome. The other thing, Todd, I'm very excited by, obviously, this is the opportunity where we showcase our new innovation. We have hundreds of engineers who are working super, super hard throughout the year, kind of driving multiple release trains. So people will get an opportunity to hear from Scott Chancellor, our Chief Product and Technology Officer, on all the roadmap, all the innovation, whether it's really in the agile shift from project to product, whether it's around the funding models and how do we enable that, OKRs, value streams, certainly on the cloud journey, whether you're struggling with SaaS spend management, public cloud decisions, on-premise to cloud, or maybe taking these workloads back into your data centers. And thirdly, our bread and butter, which is financial management, business alignment, business value, and all the innovation which we are doing around data, connection to ServiceNow as a platform, those things are going to be quite exciting for the audience.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I think all of what you said, it really demonstrates how strategic TBM is for any enterprise. Like, I can't imagine any company that is seriously investing in tech that doesn't have a lot of the challenges that you alluded to that would benefit from those types of solutions. And I think what I love the most about what Apptio and what we're seeing from a product perspective is that connection with Agile and OKRs and what we've got with Target Process to connect with business outcomes, connect with the value,
Correct.
not just the cost side. So it really gave, I think, a whole new dimension to TBM and what we're seeing. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what Scott and the team are going to show.
Here's another one. The title of my keynote is IT as we know is dead. It's mostly because of how much change has happened.
Yeah.
And the role of the CIO is fundamentally become more strategic. They've become the chief monetization officer, chief strategy officer. It's not just a cost play. It's around truly reinventing new business models. And so we'll talk a lot about that at the conference. And I know everybody in the audience, every enterprise is going to go into that style of transformation.
Yeah. Well, Sonny, I know we've got a lot of CIOs, our board members, for example. We're all going to get together. We're going to have, again, first meeting in a long time in person with the Executive Strategy Forum on October 12th and 13th. And I'm looking forward to that, obviously. What are you looking forward with that event the most?
Yeah, so basically what you're talking about is really our event in Scottsdale, which we're going to have kind of a lot of amazing CIOs, chief digital officers, and CFOs kind of represented. It's going to be a very small group, reminds me of the good old days. And it's an opportunity. You're going to get some amazing presentations from Chief Technology Officer from PayPal. You're going to get to hear from the venture capitalists around kind of where are they investing in tech. You're going to get to hear from Vista Equity Partners on kind of what are they thinking from an investment perspective. You're going to get to hear around talent because everybody's struggling with talent. You're going to get to hear around digital transformation and how are people measuring the value of all new innovation. You're going to get to hear from the role of the CIO. Accenture is going to lead that. So I would say we would love to have you represented with us in Scottsdale. This would be an amazing opportunity to be in person, have cocktails together, and just have tons of fun and a great conversation.
Yeah. And hey, for those who golf, there's golf too.
There's golf too.
We'll put an email address in the video, and so that'll be your opportunity to reach out. And for executives who are interested in that kind of engagement and dialogue, it's probably been a while for many of you. We'd love to see you there. So please reach out on that as well.
So Todd, maybe a final pitch for people who've never been to TBM Council meeting or TBM conference meeting, or you may not be a Apptio customer, you may not be a practitioner yet. What's the best pitch you have for people to kind of tune in into this conference?
Well, look, it's a highly unique event that we have because it brings together people who own and are responsible for the technology agenda for their enterprise, along with folks that are responsible for the financial management aspects, the resource and labor management, and all of these things. And it's that intersection where so many of the really tough aspects of running a technology-driven enterprise where those challenges sit. So we tackle topics as a community, as from a product perspective, et cetera, from what we bring with data. We tackle those challenges in a way that you won't find with any other such event.
In fact, I agree with you. I think anybody who's attended this, I guarantee you that you'll walk back with some learnings, some insights from one of your peers in the industry to say, okay, this is how they are tackling this style of a challenge. You'll also create an incredible network of people who you can lean on, right? And be able to make your organizations really better. And obviously, can't wait for us to do this in person. Hopefully, the whole conference at some stage in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of you are looking for live engagement. So, first of all, the conference will have a lot of content that is available on demand that you can watch for up to 90 days, so through January of 2022. And the sessions are mostly 20 minutes or less, so we're not trying to, bore people to death with really long sessions, right? So we'll make them, very, very bite-sized, but very powerful sessions that you can take in over that 90 days. However, we also have quite a few live events, roundtables. We have the TBM Council strategy communities. So we have communities for vertical industries like banking and healthcare and insurance and government, et cetera. We have communities for CFOs of IT, for topics like cloud, for topics like agile adoption. Like, these are just terrific venues to join, be part of the conversation. They're live. And we will dive deeper with those. So if you're looking for that, you want something that, you can truly engage, we have that too.
Well, and I think it was rated as the top 10 conferences globally in the planet, actually.
For CIOs.
For CIOs and technology executives to attend. So, a lot of this is kind of great best practices and based on the journey all of you are going through today within your own enterprises.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sonny, we got a lot to work on, and we're super excited for it.
Super excited, Todd, and thanks for taking the time, and really looking forward to being together in Scottsdale for our in-person executive forum, as well as kind of at the TBM conference with you. So thanks for joining as well.
Likewise, Sonny. I just want to, again, reinforce, we would love to have you join this must-have event. If you're, a CIO, if you're running technology, if you're in the financial world, finance discipline, focused on technology, this event is for you. We're going to talk about some of the more traditional aspects of TBM, but also how do you use TBM to address Agile and the move from projects to products. We're going to talk about using TBM and FinOps to address and manage and optimize public cloud adoption. And then we're going to talk a lot about digital and the use of digital platforms and how TBM plays a role there. So please join us for this very important event. And as we mentioned earlier, if you're interested in this year's Executive Strategy Forum, which is taking place again October 12th and the 13th in Scottsdale, Arizona. Again, we have a call to action for that with an email to reach out. Please join us in person. We will have safety protocols in place to address concerns you might have with the pandemic. And then lastly, for those of you that have joined today, we have a discount code for 50% off. So register using that discount code. If you want to share it with some close colleagues, please do that. And we really look forward to having you here at the conference.